I see. Well, look, I appreciate you reaching out to me. You know, I purchase properties that are like this, in this area. And so definitely just want to make sure that I'm able to answer any of your questions. Are you interested in selling this property?
Yes, we actually had a realtor that was trying to sell it, but he was doing it like as an with investors privately. It didn't work out that way because my dad had passed away last year. Yeah, this month last year.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. So we were trying to just figure out what we wanted to do with the property, and he had been on foreclosure, and they weren't helping us to get through it. So we just wanted to sell it. It's just that I was trying to explain to him with the at the time the investor that uh, there's a full amount that's owed on the property. The property is I don't know what happened or what my dad did that they didn't pay on it.
Oh, no. That happens. That happens. It's okay.
Yeah. So I do know that I got a letter because they do have a sell date. So I figured, well, if it could get sold before the sell date, that's fine. They've asked me if I want to extend it, the sell date. And I'm like, if it could be sold before the sell date, then it would work because at least that way the mortgage company that it was under will get paid.
Yeah. And have you guys already done all of the probate stuff for your father?
Yes, I'm the executor of his estate,
Okay.
and uh, his late wife's daughter is executor of the mother's estate. So we have all the paperwork. We did that all right away, and that's why we're trying to move forward with it. Because of course, at this point, even back then, with the amount that was owed, there was like really no. I'm not in San Antonio. I'm actually in El Paso, Texas. So
Chuco
it's not.
Town,
Yeah, so yeah, Chucotown. So
right?
I don't plan to move over there. It's not a house that I would want.
Yes, it looks like it needs a lot of work. Not a lot, but I mean,
Yeah.
this needs TLC for sure. Like as far as the area and the standard of houses in this neighborhood, you know?
Yes, it does. Like it does need that. And then I tried to get rid of as much of the stuff that was inside the house. I did pull the rugs when my dad was still alive because we were trying to do some remodifications on it. Just we didn't get to that point with it and stuff. So the rugs were all pulled out because he did have cats. That's the only bad thing is he had cats. So and I've learned that I know why people don't like cats and why renters don't allow cats in houses now. Now I know why.
Yeah,
I just
it's okay.
my cat
I've seen the worst.
do that. I don't know. Like I guess it's sweet to know. But yeah, that's what's going on with that property.
I once bought a house 5 years ago during the pandemic, and this house had over 600 cats inside of it, and it was known. It was actually on the news, which was crazy, you know? So it was, I mean, when I stepped in there, I thought I was stepping on carpet, but it wasn't carpet. It was literal
Oh
cat
my
poop.
gosh.
And, you know, I just, yeah, to me, I was just like, it was honestly like mind boggling. But yes, you know, things like that happen. So I hope that this house isn't anywhere near that.
No, it's not because actually we when we went in, we went ahead we actually cleaned we took out all the carpets from the front living room, the dining room. We cleaned it as much as I kept cleaning, and I went and looked up everything to put on because it has wood floors. That's the only bad thing is that it had wood floors.
Hmm.
Because even on the side, I even took off the in the living room. I took off all the siding that goes on the bottom base, like around it,
Hmm.
because it was because to me it was penetrated. So I was trying to. So I tried to, but nobody's. As far as I know, because the last time I was there, at that residence was gosh, hmm,
It's been a
I want
while.
to say it's maybe April,
Hmm.
May. I don't know. It's been a while, of course.
Do
But
you have family here? Someone who's been taking care of the property at least, or no?
actually, what happened is that the bank, the mortgage company, they went ahead and put a lock in the front.
Oh, wow.
We removed, yeah, so like, we have the combination. But we removed all the air conditioners, closed the windows, they boarded up the garage, so nobody could have access. Um,
Wow. So this
Tim-
thing's just there.
yeah, there's nobody there. What's her name? Catherine is in San Antonio, and that's my dad's late wife's daughter. Um,
Your dad's
she's there.
late wife's daughter. You
Yes.
had mentioned at the beginning, and I don't mean to interrupt you. I just want to make sure I have all of my information. All of these things help me out with coming up with a number that I can give you before the call's over. On this specific, this specific property, you mentioned that, and again, I'm so sorry. My condolences, and I'm positive that your father is with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So first and foremost, that is what what I hope for and have faith in. And so for me, as I'm dealing with properties that essentially have recent death associated with it, what I've come to find is that a lot of people, they have the paperwork, but the paperwork hasn't been filed with the county. Has that already been through the probate process, and you've spent the money and got a judge's court orders on what the will needs to be done?
Everything is completely done. The lawyer,
Okay.
yeah, her lawyer was done when it needed to be done after her mom's death. And I did mine also after my father's death. So that is completely done. It's filed.
Okay.
Is yeah,
Is there multiple heirs?
no, there's no errors. It was just, it was stated that there was no heirs in the property. So it's just me and Kathy. That's it. Because we're both the executors.
I understand. So this property gets foreclosed on. It actually falls on both of you. So their goal here should be to get out of that situation. So, with the foreclosure that has been happening, is it scheduled to go into foreclosure next Tuesday?
Yes, it is. We actually,
Oh,
because
no.
trust me, I have tried. I tried to work with the mortgage company, the bank, because I was even saying, okay, you know what, can we reinstate it? Can we do something? I gave him the whole situation, everything that was happening. Even when my dad was alive, because my dad actually, he had a bankruptcy lawyer there with Alman Law Firm, and everything was signed 1 week before he passed.
Oh,
And
man.
when he passed, I notified the law firm, and we were actually going to proceed where I was going to take on the bankruptcy. But the thing that I didn't want, and is that it puts me in a predicament, and plus I end up having to pay for it, but the deed is still under two names.
Oh,
So even
no.
if I would pay the whole loan, that was a problem we're having, is like, because I did try with Kathy to I did offer her 5,000 because, like I mentioned, the house has not been paid on, so there's no equity. So I did offer her at least 5,000. So just sign me a waiver, so that way, and then I would be comfortable taking on the foreclosure the bankruptcy, and paying it off, and then just renting it out or something. But that wasn't done, so I didn't proceed with that, and I didn't want to proceed in something that I would have to pay the full amount, and somebody would benefit from it, if that makes sense.
I
Like, no,
understand.
it doesn't work that way.
You
Yes.
you have a beautiful property. Do you mind if I asked you what's the amount of money that's left though to pay on this? I need two things from you. Number one, what's the amount? By the way, my name is Quentin. It's nice to meet you, and I appreciate you reaching out to me. It's a pleasure, Mary. And this is such an unfortunate situation, and we at this point don't have much time. So my goal would be to, if we came into an agreement, to give you an idea how this works. I would either one, reinstate the loan, or two, I would file a notion to secure the asset via temporary restraining order against the bank. This will buy us about 30 to 60 days more to figure all of this stuff out. But this is all contingent on figures here. That's it, because if I'm gonna spend money on a property, I got to make sure that I can at least do something on the other side. Ma'am, I know you told me that you got your hair pulled out by an investor who was showing it off to other investors. I am an actual investor. I don't plan on showing this property to anyone else other than my contractor or lender. But I don't have to borrow. I can also purchase cash. And this seems like that type of situation where we don't have that kind of time. So I want to work quickly with you. but all of these things are contingent on figures as well. And I'm sure if I'm probably not the only guy that you've called, so I'm positive you probably talked to a few other people already. And everybody's going to give you different promises, but I'm a straight shooter. I just try to just going to tell you how it is. And I hope you don't mind me just being honest and truthful with you. So, okay, yes, ma'am, absolutely. And I appreciate you taking the time out of your evening to have a call with me. In regards to this property, the two things that I need to know, how much is it to reinstate this loan, and what is the full balance, including the reinstatement?
Um, I know they sent me a paper. I have to go in. I'm at my house right now, so I have to go inside my house because I'm actually on the call. I mean, in the car. So I do know that they sent me a paper that said 118,000 and something. That's all I know. I have the paper.
I understand.
And then to reinstate the arrears was, I don't know what the arrears are because I would actually have to go onto online to see it. I know the last time that I checked, I think it was at about, it might be at full, probably half the amount already by now. I think it was at 38 or between 38,000 40. I don't know. That's a very, very, very
It's
rough
okay.
estimate because I would have to go in. But those are the amounts that they were saying for the reinstatement. Um, they would not give me the exact amount. Just trust me, I called them, how much would it be to do the paperwork for all this? They said, oh, well, we need legal fees and laws and blah, blah, this. I'm like, okay, how much is it roughly? So they wouldn't give me that amount, but I do know that to do a reinstatement, it would be the arrears plus whatever their fees are, which they could not tell me that. So I don't, that part I have no idea.
I see. So, what I would recommend is that we get on the phone. Not, you don't have to do this with me, but that you would get on the phone with the bank and then ask them what that figure is, or if you can find the most recent mortgage statement, because that would help tremendously. But in the meantime, if you want, you can run inside and then let's see if we can find that document, because I can jot some things down for you. Now, what I can tell you, again, transparent, right? Properties are selling in this area for about maybe 220 fully fixed up that are similar to your house. So I'd say that there's some equity, but this house also looks like it needs a solid 40, 50K in work, just judging by what I'm seeing from the outside and the photos from the listing online. So but the goal here is to at least just zero out the debt and not get foreclosed on, right? I mean, at this point, are you trying to walk away with some money?
Okay, so I really don't, I want to actually walk away with not having a debt because I do know that if it sells on foreclosure, if there's a deficit, which it is under a VA loan, because I did speak to a VA, to the VA loan company.
I see.
And I could actually call them and I could actually tell them to, I don't know, because it's like a week away later. It's like days away later. It's next Tuesday,
It's
literally.
next Tuesday, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's next Tuesday. So I don't know if they'd be able to do it that quick. Um, but they would be able to, but it is a VA loan. What I will tell you, and why the last investor that wanted the property, and the only reason, because at that point I just needed it to be sold.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason he walked away is because they would not believe me that my dad took out two loans. One was the original loan, and then there was a second one that he took out a small loan. And when you would add up the two, it would come out to this amount.
Wow.
And he wanted to buy it for less than the amount. I'm like, but there's still gonna be an amount left. And I'm like, and I just like, there's an amount. So and what he came up with, and I know this is true because we have a friend that's in construction out there that does really $1 million homes.
Yes.
The foundation is shifted.
Oh,
So I
man.
do know that. So it's not super bad, but I haven't been there, and San Antonio got a lot of rain.
Yeah, it did recently, like just the last 3 days. I mean,
And I didn't even know recently you guys got more rain. So
yeah,
I'm like, okay.
last weekend, my wife and I went to this place called Pin Stack, and we were having a really good time bowling. We walked in, there was no rain, walked out, and I would imagine there were cats and dogs falling from the sky. This thing was just, it was coming down. I couldn't even drive and see but 5 feet in front of me. It was crazy. And we both need glasses. So yeah, it was scary. I could imagine. So obviously we have a foundation issue with this property, but given the amount of money that's owed here, and I'm praying that the 38K is inclusive to the 118. But if you're saying that it's
Yes, it is.
So then 118 in total zeroes out the debt completely. That's the big
Yeah.
thing here.
19 and something, because I don't remember. Let me go inside and let me get that paper because it's next to my, it should be, let me go inside. I'm not gonna hang up on you. I'm just going inside, okay?
You're fine, ma'am. I'll wait for you.
Okay, okay.
So in instances like this, guys, we seek first to understand before we become understood. You know, so obviously she's going through a really rough time. She says that this property had belonged to her dad. Her dad had passed away. Turns out dad's wife also passed away in both of their wills, which somehow they were fused together. I'm not sure exactly how that worked. They sound like two separate probate trials. Both of them are on the will combined as the executrix of the entire estate. So it's her and then her relative, who is like a half sister, that are having to dispose of the property. Now, unfortunately, this entire probate process has taken about 3 to 4 months, possibly before they actually were able to get everything finalized, which is why we're at the point where the house is going into foreclosure. For you guys that are watching this, as far as recording, maybe Nettie, Vilson, you guys that are here right now, understand that probate is the process of finalizing someone's will. When someone dies in the United States of America, typically what happens is they leave behind this giant piece of paper. This piece of paper are formal documents just like this, and these formal documents outline your last will and testament, which is what's to happen when you die and you leave this world and you ascend to heaven to be with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And so, with that being said, when that happens, right, when we make the big trip, someone who we trust is the executrix of the will has to take this thing through the probate court and inherit the costs of doing that. This is going to require you to hire an attorney, $3,000 easy. Court costs and everything could run you up another $2,000 to $3,000, $6,000 ish in total in America to finalize a will. To have a will means nothing if you don't take it through probate, okay? And so a lot of people are like, well, I had a will. Well, it doesn't matter if you had a will. That it's just a piece of paper with words unless a judge puts a stamp of approval on it. And so our judicial system, when it comes to probate court and probate filings and attorneys that represent you in specific situations like this, we have to get a stamp of approval and court orders from a judge to enforce a will, which means everything and anything that you've owned in life is considered your estate. So, you know, we're in my house. My house is my asset. I have TVs, I have a fridge right here, I have art that's hanging up on the walls, I have a table, chairs. All of these things that I own are a part of my quote unquote estate. These things are necessary for me to finalize because when I die, I don't want my siblings fighting over what Q did, what Q had, how much money Q is leaving behind, his real estate that he owns. All of his stuff is video games, all the way down to his socks and clothes, man. You know, so again, this is part of the process, and I'm going through this with this girl to understand where she left off. Because again, her dad and her stepmom both passed away. Her half sister and her inherited the executrix role. Beneath the executrix role is beneficiaries, and beneficiaries inherit the entire estate. Somebody's getting this, and that, you know. So if I was like Vilson, my guy, Mr. Morales, I'm going to give you my PlayStation 5. It has to go to you. If I said Nettie, got a really awesome scooter in the back that also mows your lawn, that's going to Nettie, right? So I said Marvin, dude, got a freaking gaming headset and a gaming laptop, gaming PC. You're going and you're getting that. I say, Alex, got all these different Bibles and all these different things that revolve around God, and all my shrines and all my stuff goes to Alex. So then your will outlines these things, and when you take it through court, it finalizes who's getting what. And when it's court ordered, then anybody who does not abide from this can be held in contempt, aka you can go to jail. And so that's why it's so imperative to have a will get finalized through the probate process to get a judge's stamp of approval on it and have your court orders in place so that you know exactly what needs to be done and you cannot deviate away from the system. So I wanted to explain and process what probate is so that you guys know. So this is the unfortunate thing. Although they inherited everything that their dad and their stepmom had left in life, they also inherited this debt in this house with this problem. The dad had just bought this property in 2018, dude. I just got done running comps on this thing, right? So this house is worth about 225, 240. There is a house that sold down the road for 300. I don't know if that's the value, but we're about to find out.
The Bonino Associates,
Okay, what's the amount?
118,608.76, and that includes Okay, so it says that the amount owed was 91,970.92, and then there was interest was charged in the amount of 11,887.01. Fees were charged in the amount of 14,750.83. And then that totals of 118. So I'm assuming that this includes everything.
So it's 118,000, 91,000 is the balance. So then a little bit over 20,000. Oh no, you're looking at like almost 30,000 to reinstate. It's about 28,000 to reinstate the loan.
That's why I got that other letter. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, somebody had sent me. So I guess this is another.
Real estate company, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was Max at the Good Samaritan business. They
I have
sent
no
like
idea.
something that I don't know. It's just from I know they're all from San Antonio, I guess. But they sent something. Oh no, that's from Fresco, Texas. So they sent something that looked like they would. They sent something. It's a check, but it's not a check for 29,499. So I'm assuming that's
Oh
what
no,
it is.
yeah, that's just a marketing tactic to get you to call them saying this could be the amount of money that you walk away with. I know. Oh, okay.
So to me, that means that okay, that's probably for how much is owed to reinstate it. Because this was like for them to not.
Correct.
I think not to buy it, but to see if I wanted to refinance with them.
Yes.
And I was like,
Like a real estate company. I got you. I got you.
okay, so that's what it is.
Look, this is what I could do. I think that there's money to be made here. I think that this is an opportunity. I'm kind of running a risk on it if I'm being honest. But what I'd be willing to do is I'd be willing to at least put the property under contract for that amount that's on there. I can contact my attorney. We can file a temporary restraining order. I'll cover that cost. And inclusive with all of this, I'll cover all of the closing costs to zero out the debt. I can probably close on this property, give or take a few weeks, but I definitely can't move as fast as 7 days. I need to also be able to go over there and inspect the house and you know, walk it. And my wife and I can go and take a look at it probably first thing tomorrow morning. But as far as this goes, I mean, I would like to at least get something in writing stating that we're purchasing this property. I can walk it first thing in the morning before we sign any papers so that I know I'm sure about it if you'd like. That way there's a little bit more of a solidification of opinion. As it stands, I mean, I think that there's money to be made here. I think, so if you guys are just trying to zero out the debt, settle that so that you don't get a foreclosure on your record, walk away with no debt, and I take on this property and all of the problems that it has, I'd be willing to take this off of your hands. So does that sound okay if we were to do that price point? But I'm gonna walk it first before we sign anything, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, to me, I'm okay. I just need capital in case that's where the thing was. That's where we had a lot of problems with it. Is just that she needs to be on the same page. But I think even speaking with her in regards to it, saying that it's just so we don't have a deficit.
Yes. Last thing that you want to do is be in debt or have a foreclosure on your record because of this. That's going to mess up your credit, ma'am, if I'm being real, Mary, and that would just not be okay. So my company deals with situations like this. You can literally look me up and Google my name. It's Quentin Flores. I've been around the block here in San Antonio for some time. I've been practicing real estate for going on 12 years next year in February. So I'm really excited to help you out with this, and I appreciate the opportunity. What I can do is get you an offer in writing so that you have it, and then I can visit the property first thing in the morning. Is there like some type of lockbox code? And I can send you a copy of my driver's license so that you know I'm legit and not some stranger that's going to come in and break into your dad's house. God forbid. I'm just trying to be as transparent as I can with you, ma'am, and I hope that that's okay. But I could visit it first thing in the morning. Do you happen to have the lockbox code?
Yes, we do.
Can you share it with me?
Yes, it's 1750.
1750. Okay.
Yes, and
So,
I'll just have to let the neighbor know because the neighbor will. I know it sounds funny, but like when anybody shows up or anything, she'll message us or she'll. I guess they've been kind of like watchful a little bit over it, so I wouldn't be surprised. I'll call Kathy right now because Kathy was supposed to go and visit the property because I had told her that the bank had to go and I don't know if the windows ended up being boarded up
mhm.
because of the area that it's in. There's a lot of um movement, and the neighbor had called me, and I had called the mortgage company telling them that there was a squander, is that what it's called?
A squatter.
It's a squatter. There was a squatter. So I told him, you know what, there's a squatter in the house. I did close all the windows and lock them, but we might need to just get them boarded. So I did call Kathy. I don't know if they did do that when I had told them, but she was going to check the property last week just to see what the process was on that. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
Okay. Well,
Those
I
are
have,
technology.
luckily, you know, I'm from Texas, so I am loaded and armed. Okay. So if anything happens, I promise you I'm not going to kill anyone, but I will protect myself and I'll make sure that there's, again, I won't hold you liable. I'll also send you over email. And if you can text me your email address out of formality, it basically will not hold you liable in the event that I injure myself on your property. Okay. And I can send you a formal email for that so that, you know, if anything happens, it's not like you had control and I'm taking on this risk and I'm fully accepting of it. So we have an agreement then. I will zero out this debt for you. First thing that I'm going to do is tomorrow morning, I'm going to walk the property with my partner. My wife and I are going to be the only ones. And I have a contractor friend that may meet me there. And I will text you before I arrive. And I will also send you over a copy of my driver's license so that we can be fully transparent. You know who I am. You can put a face to the voice if that's okay.
Okay, that's not a problem. If you call me in the morning, I'm like, texting will be no problem just because I gotta meet one of my clients at court tomorrow.
Okay.
So, and you guys are on a different time zone than we are. We're right now, I think we're an hour behind our work.
You're just 1 hour behind. Yeah, 1 hour because you're mountain time. I love El Paso. My life changed out there. I mean, I have a really big heart for El Paso. I just bought a house in El Paso recently, about a year ago. I helped a family going through the same exact thing. You know, their dad bought a house. They've owned it for about 15 years, and they just decided to sell it after the father had passed away. It was in a corner area downtown, kind of near the university. The main one, I think it's literally called the University of El Paso, Texas. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, so I mean it was right there, you know. I think the name of the street was Euclid, like Euclid.
The area,
You
yes.
can, like, there's a park right down the road. You people ride scooters, you know. El Paso is really blown up after all these military bases have grown over there. But I mean, I'll tell you what, that was the first place I ever tried real birria. You know, if you had birria out there in Chuco Town, ay ay, right? I mean, that's what people in El Paso say.
Yeah, okay, yes, 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 okay.
Last time I was in El Paso, I talked to a bunch of friends and they kept saying ay ay, and I guess that's like slang in Chuco Town or something, but that's funny. Well, you know, maybe we can meet in person and I can do like a Zoom call with you tomorrow after I visit the property. And I think that that would be better since you're out there and I'm over here. But I want to make sure that you have all of the information about me before I even go tomorrow. So I'm going to put together a nice little packet tonight and send that over to you first thing in the morning before I head to that property. And again, I really appreciate the opportunity, Mary. I'm so sorry to hear about your father, and I look forward to helping you out with this, ma'am.
Okay, this number that I called you, this is your number where I could send you my email, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, that way I could go ahead and text it. And then to schedule a Zoom meeting, we really seriously, it does have to be scheduled just because tomorrow I'm a I'm in mental health case management, so I have clients that I'm visiting, so I have to schedule it. If that makes sense, I have to schedule the meeting with you.
That's fine. Would you like to text me on where I can do that and I can get that set up?
Okay, yeah, no, I'm like, I have my laptop with me at all times, but I gotta schedule the time.
Oh, got it, got it. Okay, ma'am. Well, I'll text you before I call, period.
Okay, so that way, and then if we need to, cause I know and then just because we're on different time zones,
Mm-hmm.
so that way, cause at, 9:30 your time, I'll be in court, 9:30, 2:30, 9:30. Oh,
I'll probably call or text you closer to noon just so that we can, again, like we can touch base then if that's all right.
yeah, like, so it might be either just a phone call, it might be a Zoom, whichever way it is.
Okay.
So that way I could go in between, but either way, I have your number, I'll go ahead and save it, and then that way I could go ahead and, in case I gotta call you.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I will see the property in the morning and I'll send you over everything first thing when I wake up tomorrow morning. Okay?
Not a problem. Thank you so much. You have a great
God
day.
bless you,
Bye-bye.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Take care. So what great rapport, y'all. So again, if we were to just run numbers on this property real quick and just based on what we're seeing in the area, I got the ARV conservatively because it's bigger than the 4.2 that sold down the road at $236,000. I was running comps. I can't share my screen on it, otherwise the app takes it down because I'm quote unquote saying showing personal information. So I can't do that for the sake of this recording. So $236,000. What we need to be at in this house is 30. We have to automatically hit 30% off of that, right? So again, she owes a significant amount of money on this house still. She owes 118. She just wants to zero out the debt. So 235,000 is what it's worth. We're going to multiply that by 0.70. That's going to bring our starting price at 164 grand. That's with a 30% profit margin already embedded into the deal. So I'm gonna say because it's 1,600 square feet rehab, the house in this property is probably gonna cost about $40,000 to fix. Okay, so $40,000 to fix is gonna put us at 124,500. So that is 70% of ARV. I could probably sell this thing as is and still make money. So this is what we're going to do is the exit strategy to this deal. I have two LLCs. I have one property. I have one LLC that's going to take ownership of this property. I have another LLC that's already pre-approved with multiple different types of private money lenders. Okay. And so I already know for a fact that the purchase price of this is going to be around 18 and some change. So $118,000 subtracted from this amount, instant assignment fee is 6,500 bucks. So this is a $6,500 deal. And this was just what, 10, 15 minutes of my time? I talked to this lady just now. I texted her earlier. She received my postcard. Shout out to Deal Machine because that's how we did that. We sent a bunch of direct mail and she called me on my postcard, right? And so again, $6,500 is already as is profit. I'm going to assign it to myself for 6,500. A hard money lender is going to lend me about 80% of ARV. So my out-of-pocket expenses to fix this property and to sell it probably going to be close to about $15,000, $16,000. That's so simple. When I close on this property, I'll get all of that money back plus an additional $30,000 to $40,000 in profit. So, 6,500 up front and then $30,000 to $40,000 in profit in the next 6 months as I renovate this house and flip it. I mean, we're looking at a home run deal, right? And so I just want to show you guys what these types of cold calls look like, a little bit of the numbers and how I look at deals so that I can make some money up front and also flip it on the back end. But I'm going to pause the recording on this. Nettie, Vilson, you guys can get the dialer back to finish out the week, the the Tuesday with the last hour that I have you guys on the dialer. So I'll see y'all here in a little bit, but I hope you got some great knowledge and great value. As always, like, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff. I'll see you on the next one. Let's get it.